Today, we're jumping into Agile methodology. Our mission, simple, really. Give you a clear picture of what Agile is, why it kind of took over the tech world, and how its ideas apply way beyond just coding. It's your shortcut to getting up to speed on something pretty critical today. Okay, let's get into it. So, before Agile, software development. Well, it wasn't always smooth sailing.
Oh, definitely not. It faced some pretty big hurdles.
Think back to the late 90s,
Yeah.
around the whole Y2K thing.
Right, yeah, the Millennium Bug Panic.
While that was about date fields specifically, it sort of highlighted a much, much bigger problem, didn't it?
It really did. Software projects were just failing, often spectacularly. These were massive multi-year things.
Multi-year, wow.
Yeah, and what's really striking is, companies would sink millions of dollars into them. And then maybe three and a half, sometimes 4 years later,
4 years?
the project would finally be, quote, finished. But by then, everything had changed.
So the business needs were different.
Completely different. The functionality they built was often just obsolete by the time it launched, outdated.
Huh. And wasn't there a study, McKinsey maybe?
Yeah.
Around 2010?
Yeah.
That dug into this?
Yes, exactly. That study really kind of laid it bare. Businesses were desperate for new things, new features, new functions, new software.
They wanted IT focused on innovation, right? Like maybe 80%.
That was the desire. Yeah, 80% innovation, 20% just keeping the lights on the admin tasks.
But the reality?
The reality McKinsey found was the complete opposite. It was staggering. 80% of IT time was just spent administering the old systems.
Leaving only 20% for anything new.
Each 20%. I mean, that's clearly unsustainable. You can imagine the frustration.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Absolutely. So, okay, the old way was broken. How do you even start to fix that? How do you balance, like, perfection with speed and cost? They seem totally at odds.
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And that's precisely the challenge this new wave of thinkers, the Agile folks, set out to tackle.
Right. So into this chaos around the year 2000, this group emerges. These gurus, as the source calls them.
Yeah, and they weren't just academics sitting in ivory towers. These were deep thinkers from industry, too. IBM was a big one.
Before Apple and Microsoft were the huge players they are now.
Exactly. These early leaders, they got together, held a conference, and hammered out what became the Agile Manifesto.
The famous manifesto.
Yeah.
But here's a twist I found interesting. It wasn't an instant hit, was it?
Not at all. Initially, it was, well, largely ignored.
Why was that?
The language, maybe?
Yeah.
It felt a bit too guru-like, perhaps. Not immediately practical or easy for, the average business person to just pick up and run with. And it's really crucial to understand what it wasn't. It wasn't a set of rigid rules. It wasn't a detailed process or method either.
Like the idea of sprints came later.
Much later. Yeah, about a decade later that really solidified. And these weren't even just suggestions. What the Agile Alliance created were principles. Fundamental guidelines, core values, really, for how software development should ideally operate.
Okay, principles. And the source pulls out 4 that are like top priority, essential.
Yeah, the real game changers.
And they seem so straightforward, yet profound. Number 1, satisfy the customer. That's paramount.
Absolutely. Customer first.
2, welcome change. Don't fight it. Use it to get things right.
Embrace it, yeah. Don't fear it.
3, deliver working software frequently. Small, valuable pieces, often. Not waiting years.
Get something useful out there fast and often.
And 4, working software is the primary measure of progress. Forget counting hours. What matters is what's actually built and working.
That one was huge. What value have you actually delivered? That's the key metric. A really radical shift in thinking.
Definitely. So these are the principles. How do they translate into, actually doing the work day to day?
Well, the practical side started to come together more formally around 2010. And the core idea that emerged was the sprint.
Sprint. So yeah.
These short, really focused work cycles, usually, 2-4 weeks long?
Right, where a team basically hunkers down together, builds stuff, tests it, delivers some functionality.
Exactly. And this new way of working also brought in new roles. You hear about the Scrum Master a lot.
The facilitator, right.
Yeah.
Keeping things on track, removing roadblocks.
Precisely. But maybe even more fundamentally, it shifted the whole way people thought about software. It wasn't about discrete projects anymore.
It became about products.
Yes, a huge change. The old way was build version 1, then maybe version 2, and you're done. Finite project.
But now software is seen as this living thing, a product that's always evolving.
Think about the apps on your phone, right? Spotify, Office 365, whatever.
Yeah, you get updates all the time. Sometimes it feels like every week.
Exactly. Maybe monthly, maybe more. But they're not these big numbered versions. It's just this continuous flow of new features, little improvements delivered through these sprints.
Okay, so it's never really done.
Well, the crucial point is a product really only ends when its business model stops making sense, when it's no longer viable. Until then, it's this constant stream of updates, refinements.
Continuous delivery.
That's the term. And it's why companies now, especially in fast-moving areas like, say, AI, are pushing features out as fast as humanly possible, sometimes on 3-week sprint cycles, just constantly iterating.
It's fascinating. But where did these ideas like sprints and daily check-ins actually come from? Did they just invent them for software?
Well, interestingly, no. The formal Agile methodologies for software might be relatively new, but they definitely looked outward for inspiration.
And other industries.
Yeah, if you zoom out a bit, what's often missed is that the core concepts, things like daily stand-up meetings, iterating constantly, they've been standard practice elsewhere for ages.
Like where?
Think about defense manufacturing or big construction projects. For decades.
Really? Give me an example.
Okay, imagine you're at Newport News Shipbuilding. They build nuclear aircraft carriers, submarines, incredibly complex stuff.
Right.
Or maybe Boeing working on Air Force One or similar specialized planes. You'd literally see teams gathered around boards every morning.
Doing what?
Discussing what did we get installed yesterday, what's the plan for today, any blockers, what's next. They've been doing these stand-ups for probably 50 years, long before anyone called it Agile.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's the same thing you see on, any big highway construction site like I-35 or MOPAC that the source mentions. Every morning, the crews huddle up.
Discussing the day's tasks, problems, progress.
Exactly. It's just common sense when you're building a physical thing together. You need that daily coordination.
So if this was working so well in building ships and highways, why did it take so long for software to catch on?
That's a great question. It seems obvious in hindsight, maybe, but it took this kind of critical mass of failures and then this realization that, wait a minute, constructing software isn't that different. It could benefit from the same collaborative, iterative principles used to build tangible things.
So adapting ideas from the physical world to the digital one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk tools. How did the Agile toolkit evolve? It wasn't always fancy software, was it?
Oh, not at all. It started incredibly simple. Think Post-it notes.
Post-its? Seriously?
Absolutely. On a physical whiteboard or wall, that was actually a huge deal for 3M, apparently.
Yeah.
Then you started seeing dedicated team rooms, war rooms, sometimes called.
Like everyone involved, product owners, scrum master, developers, could physically sit and work together.
Right, constant communication. And the board itself, the physical Kanban board, is beautifully simple.
Kanban. Okay, what does that look like?
Typically just 3 columns: to do, in progress, and done.
That's it.
That's the core.
Yeah.
Power is in its simplicity and, crucially, its strictness. There's no almost done column.
Huh. Right. It forces clarity. It's either done or it's not.
Exactly. Accountability. And that simplicity carries over to the stand-up meeting, too.
The daily check-in we mentioned.
Yeah. They're designed to be super short, like 5 to 7 minutes, ideally.
Get in, get out.
The goal is efficiency. Get to the point. No long stories about your cousin's cat. Just, What did I do yesterday? What will I do today? Any blockers. Keep the work flowing.
Okay, makes sense. Now, one really key shift with Agile is how work gets estimated, right? It's not about hours anymore.
That's a big one. The old way was all about time. This task will take 100 hours.
Which is often a total guess, and different people work at different speeds anyway.
Precisely. Time can be kind of irrelevant. So Agile shifts the focus to points, or sometimes affinity.
Points. How does that work?
Instead of guessing hours, the team assigns relative points to each task or user story based on complexity, effort, uncertainty, basically, how big it feels compared to other tasks.
Okay, so it's relative sizing.
Exactly. Or they might use affinity mapping, grouping similar-sized tasks together, and you only earn the points when the story is completely finished. Done.
Not halfway done.
Nope. This allows for different work styles, different speeds, but gives a much clearer picture of actual progress, how much value, how much stuff is actually getting delivered.
Value delivered, not time spent. And you track this visually.
Often, yeah, with something called a burn-down chart. It shows the total points remaining in a sprint plotted over time. Ideally, it burns down towards 0.
So managers get a clear, honest view of where things stand, even if the scope changes a bit.
Yes, it's much more transparent. It tells the truth about progress.
And of course, we've moved way beyond Post-its now.
Oh, absolutely. From physical boards, we now have incredibly sophisticated virtual tools. Think Atlassian's Jira, that's huge.
Hmm.
Microsoft's tools in Visual Studio, Azure DevOps, Monday.com, Trello.
All these platforms that let teams collaborate, even if they're spread all over the world.
Exactly. That virtual environment is where most work happens now. If you're listening, chances are you'll end up using tools like these, whatever your role.
Okay, so theory, principles, tools. So wrapping this up, we've gone from the chaos of Y2K failures to a world where the software on our phones just gets better and better almost constantly. Agile's journey has really reshaped how tech gets built.
It really has. It's all about that constant evolution, keeping the customer happy and actually proving progress with software that works and gets delivered.
It started as these core principles, not rigid rules.
Yeah, and those principles gave birth to practical methods like sprints and this whole ecosystem of tools that let teams deliver value quickly, continuously. It's amazing, really, how central it's become.
Yeah, from being ignored to being the bedrock. So, as we finish this deep dive, here's something to chew on. If software is now this perpetually evolving product, never truly done, always improving, what does that imply for how we think about other complex things, other systems around us, maybe even our own lives or personal development? Could we all stand to be a bit more agile in how we approach things?